but it's okay because I love this church and I feel good about it. So whatever comes up my mouth will be just fine. I was out doing life, not long ago, and seemingly things were well, and I fell really hard to a breaking point that literally took everything, from me. This is not just a job, but a wife and a home, and in the future I thought I had all worked out, and but it was required, and I think of Psalms 40, being just in the lowest of my pits, I was done. In every sense of the word, I was done, ready to be done. And it was a good friend of mine that threw out the lifeline of this place. And it was literally, like the psalm says, taking my feet out of there and putting them on solid ground. And since then, I think I finally got what was missing before. I was over the road as a truck driver, and even though married and everything, the isolation is real, and it just took me out of any safety I had, any counsel, no safety net. I had stopped praying. I had stopped reading the Word. I was just focused on work and making money and living that life, to where I deceived myself into being able to slip, and that slip, I fell really hard. And but the brokenness, I think, is what readied me, to receive what I needed to receive. And this place has been the ground that allowed that to happen. And I think I was telling Kevin was it a week ago or so, I walked in his office, I said, I'm getting this. I'm getting it. In a way that I never had before, And so much so now, like I said, I've fallen in love with this church, and the brothers in this church, the people of this church is where I know I need to be. When I'm done with this program, I don't plan on going far at all. This is going to be my home. Whatever is in front of me in life, I'm going to stay here. So I'm so grateful. There's what's poured into all of us that are in the home. It's the brothers. It's Sean and Darren and Mark and Jay that on their own time they come and they pour in the understanding from the men of this church that have been through some stuff. It's a lot easier to receive, when you've got people that have been there, not just book knowledge coming at you, but real stuff, and we can be men and we can talk like men, and I'm so grateful to really, we talk about a lot, like what's a man, and those false ideas that we have out there, but, I've learned what a man is here, and I plan on being around. I've got a heart to pass what I've learned on to others. Especially the Word of God. Because I was talking to Darren this morning. He says, you look different. I said, I feel different. I feel God working in me. And that's really all I can say for it. So, like I said, this is unplanned. But thank you all so much.